Hi guys, in this video I'm going to tell you 10 things that you need to learn before going to Japan. As you know, we've been to Japan this summer for like 3 weeks, so you can check out my playlist somewhere over here for the Japan playlist, and I'm going to go straight into the video. So the first thing that you need to learn is that Japan, if you're going specifically to Tokyo has two main airports: Tokyo Haneda International Airport and Narita International Airport. So we did go through Tokyo Haneda International Airport, and I found it so beautiful. I'm going to insert all the beautiful, beautiful footage from Tokyo Haneda. And the bonus thing that you need to know about Tokyo Haneda is that it has an observation deck at the top. So if you like plane watching or something of that sort, or you have a lot of time before you check in at the hotel, you can take that time to go have enjoy some observation at the observation deck at the top of the floor, at the topmost floor, sorry. And then the other thing that you need to know is the Suica card, which I'm trying to look for, but I'll insert a picture over here. I had it, I just misplaced it, sorry. The Suica card, it's just a card that you can use. You can buy it at the train station. I got mine at the train station, and there are also vendors that have it. You'll see a sign. This card, you can use it to pay for the local public transport. Some convenience store accept it as means of payment, and also you can use it in different vending machines to buy your drink. So I'd advise to get a Suica card. You can also recharge it at the airport. Sorry, not the airport. You can recharge it at the train station, and different stores have a point to recharge your Suica card. It's not only Suica, there are other options. I bought one before. I'm forgetting the name because I didn't use it many times, but I'm going to insert the pictures over here. And also, you be sure to check the description notes, the notes in the description, to get all the things that I'm saying, sorry. The other thing that you need to know is that public transport in Tokyo is very efficient, and therefore you don't need to hire a car. We were there for about 3 weeks. We didn't need to hire a car, not even once. The train station is very efficient. It shows up on time. The city is well connected, and I'm making this video specifically for Tokyo because that's where we spent most of our time. We went to Kyoto. It was the same. We didn't need a car. So yes, public transport is very it is very good in Tokyo in general. And also they have Uber if you feel like you have a lot of luggage and you don't want to use the train or the metro from the airport to your hotel, or from the airport to your Airbnb. You can take an Uber. I also saw, I think, their own version of Uber, Go Taxi. We never used it. We just used Uber because that's what we had. So yeah, you can. That's also an option for you. Mobile internet. I found the connection was reliable. My husband got an eSIM. He bought it before we left for the trip, and I got the physical SIM. We learned this I'd say we've now done quite a bit of traveling, and we learned to not get the same internet, because there's a time we got the same eSIM and then it didn't work well. So it was both of us didn't have internet. At least one of us should have internet. So one of us get the eSIM, and then one of us gets the physical SIM. And because my phone is not locked, I am from Kenya, so my phone is not locked by my mobile provider, so it's easier for me to get a physical SIM. So I got a physical SIM at the airport, Tokyo Haneda Airport, at the arrival, I believe. So there is once you come out from the customs, on your far right, you will see shops that sell eSIMs. I'm going also to put the description of what I got. I got a plan that I paid, I think, for about 20 USD, and I was able to use it for 3 weeks. And I was doing a lot of live streaming for my TikTok and all that stuff. So yeah, and it was still sufficient for my time there. The other thing that you need to know is that not so many people speak English. I didn't find Tokyo to be very English-y. That's a word I'm coining here to describe. But not so many people speak English, and therefore you might find yourself needing the Google Translate. And that's something that we've now learned at this point because of going to different places that don't speak English. Just make sure you pre-download the Japanese language, and the people there are super friendly, which is my other point. So you don't have to worry if you can speak Japanese. You can just write it down and then show it to someone. If you need to ask something, show it to someone, it will translate it for you. So yes, the other thing that you need to know is that Google Map is very efficient. I find Google Map very helpful, especially if I need to go somewhere. Let me tell you, the first 2 days being in Tokyo was so confusing because the subway, if I interchange subway and metro, please forgive me, I don't even know the difference. I'm from Kenya, we don't have any of that. We just have one train that goes to the coast of Kenya. But anyway, so if the first few days of being in Tokyo was super confusing because of the metro station and how interconnected and how huge the city is. And so our only saving grace was Google Maps, which we pre-download, like the map of a certain city, so that even when you don't have internet, you still can continue using the Google Maps. And it's so accurate. If you need to track the public transport, if you need to track when the train is coming, it's so good. It shows you go here, you need to change to a JR line, for example, you need to change to this line. So I found that super helpful. So please make sure you get your Google Maps before going to Tokyo. The food in Japan was really good. It is fresh and I found it healthy. There's not a lot of junk stuff going on in Japan. So the food was great, the taste was great. But the fruits are very expensive. I found the fruits super expensive. I used to think for let's say in Nairobi, the fruits that are local to us are just super cheap, but the fruits that are imported, for example, for us buying apples or grapes, can get a bit pricey. But even then, I found like a pack of grapes, for example, in Nairobi will go for, let's say, $4 to $5, but I found in Japan the same pack of grape was going for about $12. So I found that very expensive. Pineapples are super expensive as well. Apples, yes, fruits are they were just a bit pricey. So yeah, bear that in mind. And then we asked people on Reddit, and we asked what should we bring back from Japan? Like what should we buy? And people unanimously agreed that the knives in Japan are good. And I'm here to back that argument up because we ended up buying knives. Not knives, we bought a knife, and I cook a lot. So that knife is hands down the best knife I've ever laid my hands on. It was a bit pricey, yes, for how much you would pay for a knife, but it's handmade. It's super nice. So if you are looking for something to bring home from Japan, make sure you check the knives out. You can also buy UV umbrellas. You can buy skincare for all the girlies. If you care about that stuff, I think the skincare products are there too, and they're good, but they are a bit pricey, especially if you're coming from Europe. Yeah, it's a bit, it's a bit pricey. And then, yes, my point number 9 is that people are just friendly. So you don't have, and respectful. So you don't have to worry for your safety. You don't have to worry. Yes. For me also as a Black woman, I stood out, like a sore thumb. So yes. And I didn't find anything that raised my eyebrows. It was, I found it safe. I found people very respectful, and Black people in Tokyo also were super, super friendly. I haven't gone anywhere in this world where Black people were so friendly. I'm saying, like, I didn't pass a single Black person that wasn't trying to say hi. Listen, the first time I went anywhere where I was a minority. I was born and grew up in Kenya, so I've never been a minority. Almost everybody in Kenya is Black. So the first time I went to Europe, I remember so well, I saw a Black person after like 2 days of being there, and I started smiling, and I was met by the coldest face I had ever seen up until that point. And they were like, it's almost like, what do you mean? But in Japan. So I learned my lesson. I usually, so nowadays when I see a black person somewhere in Europe, I don't assume they are my brother or sister. We just, yeah, it's cool. We just look at each other and go. But in Japan, I can't remember the first incidents, but I remember the second one. I was standing somewhere outside a convenience store because we had bought some other things at a different convenience store, and my husband needed to pick something else. So I said, "You go in because we don't know how to go put this in like a storage thing. So go in, and I'll stand here." And I'm standing here. I'm on my phone, and then I hear someone from behind me is like, "Hey, beautiful." And I was just super confused. I was like, who is that person? Who do they know me? And then I turned, I'm like, hey, I felt so good. And then I realized like every time I'd go outside and see like black people, they would try to wave. So yeah, I don't know. But maybe it's just being in Tokyo makes you a super nice, friendly person. I don't know. But I found black people in Tokyo, hands down, the most friendly people, black people at least that I've met. So yeah, so if you're going there as a black person, you don't need to worry anything for anything. And then also the last point, number 10, get some cash, because some places don't quite accept cards. And I mean like those small, you'll find yourself maybe eating at small restaurant, noodle shops, whatever, or buying something at a small shop, and they might not accept a card. So make sure you get cash. And where you can get that, there's so many 7-Elevens. It's such a popular chain, I think, in Japan. So you can get that. They have ATMs at 7-Eleven, or you can find an ATM and get some cash. I hope this video is helpful to you as you plan your trip to go to Japan, and please make sure you give it a thumbs up if you found it helpful. And also be sure to check out my playlist, subscribe, because I'm going to be making a few more videos of the things to do in Tokyo, things to do in Kyoto. I'm also going to do a budget breakdown of how much we ended up spending for our trip. So make sure you stay tuned for that, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.